I'm recording this with GoPro's new Hero9 Black, and one of its coolest new features is called Hindsight, and it captures up to 30 seconds of video before you even hit record. That way you can look back and see just how I ended up like this. So this is it. It's the Hero9 Black, and everything about it is bigger, including its actual size. I mean, look at the difference between the Hero9 and the Hero8. The 9 is taller and wider, and it's heavier too, but it's all for a good reason, and that's battery life. The Hero9 has a much larger battery pack. Here it is against the Hero8's battery. Battery life was always a problem because the cameras were small, but by going bigger, this pack will last 30% longer than the 8's, and GoPro says it works better in the cold too. I used it a bunch in the past few days, and while I don't have any hard numbers yet, it lasted noticeably longer with whatever settings I used. So you've got the bigger body with a bigger battery, and inside is a bigger image sensor. It's not physically larger, but it's now 23.6 megapixels, and with it you can shoot 20 megapixel pictures and 5K video at 30 frames per second, in addition to 4K at up to 60 frames per second, 2.7K at 120, and 1080 at 240 when you really want to slow things down. With more resolution, you also get more of GoPro's digital lenses. Basically, these let you get tighter or wider on your subjects, and you can just slide between them with the touchscreen shortcut. For example, if you're shooting in 4K, you can change from a narrow view to a linear view with horizon leveling, which is now done in camera instead of being an extra step editing. And then you can go to just a linear lens and then switch to the GoPro's traditional wide view, and then you can bump all the way up to super view for the widest, tallest picture. But for the most immersive shots, you can add on the $99 Max Lens mod. GoPro had dropped the twist-on lens cover for the Hero8, but it's back for the 9. It adds to the size, but means you can replace it easily and use other lenses. With the Max Lens, you get a huge view, just like what you'd get with the GoPro Max camera's lenses. You can record it up to 2.7K, and it can be used with the wide digital lens or the super view lens for a really big picture. Next to the lens is the Hero9's worst kept secret, and that's the new big color display. GoPro's not the first to have a front display like this, but it's a great addition, and you can set it to show you just the information, a full widescreen picture so you can frame your shots, or a tighter center shot. The rear display is large too, so it's just easier to see what you're shooting and change all your settings. The camera I tested had pre-launch firmware on it, so the touchscreen was a little slow to respond, but GoPro says the launch firmware improves the sensitivity as well as some of the image quality, although the image quality was already really good. Overall, the body feels actually tougher than the 8 too, and the battery door is easier to open as well, and the micro SD card is easier to remove. It's still waterproof down to 10 meters too. Sometime in October. Okay, so those are some of the top new features. I'll get to a couple more later on in the video, but I wanted to go back to the 5K video for a second. Now, I thought that was a bit much, but apparently GoPro says that a lot of their users wanted 5K, and GoPro wants to keep up with what its users want and what's available, and to push the boundaries of what their cameras can do. So they added 5K. Now, for the average Joe GoPro user like me, I don't necessarily need 5K, but what it does do is give you enough resolution that you can shoot video and pull stills. So if you can't decide between taking a photo and taking video, you can set it to 5K, record video, and then go back and get stills, probably stills that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So in the end, 5K, it's a nice addition to this camera.
Oh, it's gonna take off. Bye, Mr. Seagull.
A lot of the features from the Hero 8 carry over to the Hero 9, but there are enhancements throughout. GoPro's Hyper Smooth, for instance, the image stabilization, it was already amazingly good on the Hero 8, and it's just improved for the Hero 9. Here's some side-by-side footage of the Hero 8 and 9 so you can judge it for yourself. What's more is that with Hyper Smooth 3, you get boosted stabilization in all settings. For example, on the Hero 8, you couldn't use boost at 4K with the Super View lens. With the Hero 9, you can apply that extra bit of stabilization to make your clips look as smooth as possible. And just to show you how good the stabilization is on this camera, here's what it looks like with it off, and here's what it looks like next to it with it on. GoPro's brand of hyperlapse, it's stabilized motion time-lapse mode. It's on version 3 now as well.
So with the new Time Warp 3.0, you can pause in the middle and slow down the video to a real speed. But then when you're ready to go back up, you just tap on the back of the screen and it goes back to regular Time Warp. However, now you can record audio, just like I'm doing right now.
So along with all the shooting modes in the Hero 9, GoPro added 3 new tools: scheduled captures, duration captures, and hindsight, which you saw at the beginning of this video. It creates a 15 or 30-second buffer constantly. So as soon as you press record, it starts with a video stored in the buffer. As long as you turn off the camera beep, you'd never know you used it in the final clip. Duration capture lets you set a timed recording from 15 seconds all the way up to 3 hours, and scheduled capture lets you pick a time you want the camera to turn on automatically and start recording. So that way you can capture things like a sunrise without actually having to be up with the sunrise. There are a handful of other small updates, but one that's actually pretty relevant right now is that the Hero 9 can be used as a webcam out of the box on both Windows and Mac. So, how much does all this cost? Now, with the pricing, it's a little confusing this year because GoPro's offering some bundle options at launch. Here's the rundown. The Hero 9 Black is $449, or on GoPro.com, you can get it for $349 when you get a 1-year subscription to GoPro's service. So for $349, you're getting the camera and a year of service, which gets you things like no questions asked camera replacement, cloud storage, and enhanced live streaming, and discounts on other gear. For $499, you can get it in a new bundle that comes with a second battery, a floaty grip, a magnetic swivel clip, and a micro SD card. And again, you can get $100 off if you sign up for the service. Either way, you get this nice case too because GoPro is getting rid of its plastic packaging. The Max, Hero 8, and Hero 7 all stay in the lineup, with the 8 and 7 at reduced prices. And I know I didn't mention it earlier specifically, but in case it wasn't clear, the bigger body does mean you can't use the old batteries in the Hero 9, and the Hero 8 Media Mod won't fit on it either, but GoPro is making one for the Hero 9. So there you have it. That's the new GoPro Hero9 Black in a nutshell. I really like having the front screen, and I'm okay with the extra size and weight to get the removable lens cover, and of course, more battery life. What do you think? Are the updates worth upgrading for? Let us know in the comments, and check out more details on the new camera on CNET.com. Thanks for watching. Okay.